Greetings, everybody. I want to welcome you here to Prog Monster. My name is Murph. I am the host of this show, a show dedicated to progressive rock and other forms of rock music. Cheers. So we're here on day number 14, I believe. Yep, this is day number 14. Coming in here at number 17 is this album, Nursery Cryme by Genesis. So these are my 30 favorite rock drummer albums that we're doing for the series for the month of November. Basically, I'm picking out 30 albums that I like primarily for their drumming, but not completely for their drumming, but for the most part, the drumming is the aspect that drew me in. In this case, this is the songs drew me in, but the drumming is fantastic. So the drumming for this particular album, done by Phil Collins. Yes, no doubt. This is his first appearance with Genesis, and he is such an upgrade that it's almost hard to believe that it's the same band. And, you also have Steve Hackett here, so he has to share the stage. But initially, I think he was pretty dominant. He is one of the great drummers of rock history. There's no doubt about it to me. Definitely a top 5 drummer of all time, I think. He just really knows how to play the parts that he has to play. All the fills and the complex rhythms and the complex beats and the heavy parts and the soft parts and just really intricate stuff. You can see why he played with Brand X as well for a while later. You can see why, because he's such a complex drummer. I think of all the drummers out there, I think he's got to be top 5 for sure. There's a lot of complexity on this album that wasn't present on Trespass. No, don't get me wrong, I love Trespass. It's a great album. I think the drummer on there is okay, he's good. But he always takes a lot of hits because he's compared to Phil Collins, and he's just never going to be able to come to that level. And that's unfortunate. I don't think he's a bad drummer. I just think Phil Collins is an exceptional drummer here. Every track on here, he's doing something unique. He likes those little offbeat complexities. Music Box, really good. Return of the Giant Hogweed, where he's really adding that spine to this song, giving it that heaviness. This is actually almost like a proto-metal type song in some ways, or prog metal, I guess, maybe you might want to call it. One of the first of that. Very similar to The Knife, but you can see the difference right off the bat. Like, The Knife is a good song. This is a great song as far as the drumming aspect goes. And you've got The Fountain of Salmacy, where he's very complex, adding his complex rhythms and complexities to the song to make it instrumentally one of their best songs, I think. Just really complex stuff here, and such a step up from where they were prior to this album. Is there something on here? No, it's just a peg on the album cover. There's another one down here, you can see it. So Phil Collins for me has to be among the best drummers of all time. A lot of his stuff goes unnoticed because he's on an album dominated by Steve Hackett, and Tony Banks are very dominant here, and then of course the lyrical and musical attributes of Peter Gabriel as well. But fitting in here perfectly. The second they added him to the band, they became one of the better instrumental bands out there. Really like this album a lot, and it only gets better. Each album gets better. But for some reason, I like this one the best as far as his drumming goes. There's a lot of, because there's so many different sounds. You got some heavy sounds, you got some quiet sounds, you got some filler sounds, you've got some complex rhythms and beats on this album. There's just everything you could want in an album, dominated by absolute killer tracks. So anyways, Genesis Nursery Cryme, that's the album for today. My number 14 for the series we're doing. Well, actually, it's day 14. The album is actually number 17. So we're getting up there. This is the second Genesis album that we've done. The first one, of course, was And Then You Were Three. That one was very different from his from this album. This album is all the little complex rhythms and stuff. That one was much more straightforward, almost heavy in comparison to this, which only goes to show how absolutely versatile this guy is. And I know he took some hits for that concert he did with Led Zeppelin back in '85, where he flew in and did the drum parts along with Chester when they did the Live Aid, and he took some hits for the kind of mixed upness part of it. And I get it, but no drummer can learn the songs of another band by just playing them on stage, no matter how good they are, and that only goes to show that. But anyways, I think that he still is one of the great drummers of all time. So there you have it. Phil Collins, Genesis, Nursery Cryme, all here today. Please hit the like and subscribe. Do not forget to hit the notification bell. If you want to make any comments about this particular album with Phil Collins, or Phil Collins in general, or anything that relates to Genesis or any of that stuff, you can put that all in the comment section below. I'd love to hear what people have to say. I know a lot of people study drummers like this and have little comments that maybe aren't well known about the drummer, or there's all kinds of different stuff that I find interesting. And to be honest with you, every time I've done something with Phil Collins, somebody's always said something that I hadn't heard before, which is good. It teaches me stuff. So anyways, I hope you've enjoyed this episode. We will see you tomorrow for another episode of my 30 favorite rock drummer albums. I get it yet? Take care and have a good one. Bye.